The PLA's official annual military drills, chemical defense exercises, and the bravado-filled documentary segments created for domestic audiences by CCTV, all of this is nothing more than a polished facade. China willingly shows these videos to the world to distract from what they are truly hiding. What they really don't want you to see isn't in those dramatic made-for-TV parades. It's in a massive hidden data-gathering industry and a relentless industrial conveyor belt that's running right now. And today, we're going to try to take a look inside. While many countries are still debating ethics, China is already treating combat robots as ordinary tools. Moreover, Chinese engineers have developed an actual catalog of future warfare, where robots replace infantry, airborne troops, and amphibious assault forces, where artificial intelligence controls swarms of machines without needing signals or constant communication, and where there's no need to fear casualties because all the hardware is cheap and easily replaceable. Let's break it down, and to separate the propaganda from the reality, let's start by looking at what they've actually allowed us to see, because even within this polished official picture, there are unsettling details hiding in plain sight. Let's start with the CCTV documentary series on military robots and drones that was released in March 2026. In it, China publicly outlined its new doctrine for robotic warfare for the first time. The most spectacular and widely discussed concept, though far from the only one, is the Wolf Pack. It involves the autonomous coordination of robotic dogs divided into 3 groups. The first group, Shadow, provides reconnaissance and situational awareness. The second, Polar, handles fast, reliable battlefield logistics, carrying cargo weighing up to 5 kilograms. And finally, the third group, Bloody. This is the actual strike version that can be equipped with an automatic rifle, a grenade launcher, or mini missiles. The robots themselves are also being constantly refined. The durability and flexibility of their joints are being improved to overcome stairs and debris. Their speed is also increasing, now reaching 15 kilometers per hour. But these are all minor details compared to the real breakthrough, the unified digital brain behind the pack. Thanks to it, a single operator can command and control the actions of the entire pack using voice commands, a rifle-mounted joystick, or gestures made with a tactical glove. What else makes these robots unique? Unlike many Western prototypes that require a docking station to swap out equipment, the Chinese concept relies on modular payloads. Any operator can swap out a dorsal module, whether it's weaponry or specialized gear, quickly and without any extra tools. This turns every robotic dog into a versatile tool that adapts to the mission in a matter of minutes, without having to return to the rear lines. It already sounds impressive, but that's just one piece of the bigger picture. In China's new robotic army, these 4-legged machines are just the infantry. Surrounding them is a massive integrated ecosystem, swarms of aerial drones, smart unmanned surface vessels, and mobile laser platforms that provide air cover for the entire pack. To understand what the West is actually going to be dealing with, let's look at all the pieces of this puzzle. First, let's take a closer look at swarm intelligence. According to Chinese state media, the Atlas system allows for the simultaneous control of up to 96 attack drones in the air. It's also reported that the system can deploy in just 3 seconds. The algorithm gives every drone its own individual brain for coordination and real-time collision avoidance. But more importantly, the entire system is designed to operate in environments where GPS and radio communications are jammed. In other words, while Western drones can drop out of the sky when their comms and GPS are cut off, Chinese robots keep on completing their mission. How? The answer lies in a tiny piece of silicon from a company that the US has been trying to cripple with sanctions for years. Yes, we're talking about Huawei. Despite the heavy sanctions, the company introduced its own equivalent to the NVIDIA H20. Yes, the Ascend 950PR is a powerful cutting-edge AI accelerator optimized for inference. This is when an already trained AI model processes new data received in real time. In practice, a robot or drone with such a chip inside can make decisions based on new input without needing a live network connection. Huawei hasn't officially confirmed the use of the Ascend 950PR in military hardware. However, based on the combined characteristics touted by China, experts believe this is exactly the chip being used. Ultimately, the ability to process information in real time without a network connection, paired with SLAM, simultaneous localization and mapping algorithms, allows these drones to operate even when jammers are active. They simply switch to an internal map of the area, which they build by relying on their own onboard computing power. These technologies threaten to make even expensive, reliable air defense systems look outdated. The Atlas system turns precision warfare into mass warfare. There are simply too many drones, they are too cheap, and they are too smart to be stopped just by losing part of the swarm. But China fully understands that in the event of a global conflict, say over Taiwan, the main battle won't play out on land or even in the sky. It will unfold at sea. And here, Beijing is preparing a surprise. On March 25th of this year, the first operational exercises for the L-30 unmanned boat swarm took place off the coast of Guangdong. These are 7.5-meter USVs. They can reach speeds of up to 35 knots, high for an unmanned vessel, and have an impressive range of more than 300 nautical miles. The most interesting part is that the vehicle is modular. You can easily install any kind of equipment on it, ranging from acoustic emitters to electronic intelligence suites or even electronic jamming systems. During the exercises, several L-30s autonomously patrolled a designated zone. They also detected and intercepted a mock intruder. All of this was done without a crew, with decentralized task execution under a unified command. The uniqueness of these exercises lies in the fact that previously, naval drones primarily performed tracking functions, but the L-30s are programmed for physical intervention. During the drills, they used active interdiction tactics, surrounding and forcing the intruder out of the protected zone. It's reported that if intruders resist, the L-30s are capable of ramming them. Furthermore, the craft isn't operating alone. It receives data from a drone in the sky and relays it through a satellite link to the central brain, or command post. Once an intruder is detected, the boat swarm receives the order to intercept. This is the full automation of maritime patrol. It might seem like there's no defense against a swarm like this, but what if the enemy responds in kind? While the West spends $2 million missiles to shoot down dirt-cheap drones, China has taken a very different approach. This spring, two systems were unveiled: the Guangjian-11E, a jamming station, and the Guangjian-21A, a laser capable of firing while on the move. Both systems operate at altitudes of 50 to 80 meters. For classic air defense, this is a blind spot where low-flying drones simply blend into the terrain or urban noise. The laser tackles this problem on multiple fronts. The cost of a single shot from the Guangjian-21A is just the cost of electricity. It's practically free compared to the cost of anti-aircraft munitions. And it goes even further. These new systems are being mounted on mass-produced wheeled platforms. They don't just guard a base, they move along with the troops, providing cover for convoys on the march. In this way, China is moving anti-drone warfare out of the realm of experimental concepts and into the world of mass production. All of this points to a fundamental shift in military doctrine. Instead of one high-tech specialized robot costing tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, the Middle Kingdom is betting on mass production and affordability. It doesn't matter to them how many robots are taken out of action. But what does this mean for the rest of the world? One of the leading Western experts on military AI, Gregory Allen, points this out directly. Chinese defense companies, including those owned or controlled by the PLA, are openly building and exporting weapon systems with advertised autonomous lethal capabilities. At the same time, officially, Beijing advocates at the UN for a ban on the use of lethal autonomous weapons, but not for a ban on their development. This is what Allen calls strategic ambiguity. With one hand, they issue diplomatic statements about self-restraint. With the other, they are building up that very same arsenal. National security analysts are more cautious, noting that AI is currently too young and too fragile for Beijing to let robots loose in a fully autonomous lethal mode. However, the PLA itself is already officially describing robots as equal partners for human soldiers in combat. And yet, these partners aren't the kind anyone will mourn. They aren't even equipment that needs to be preserved. They are merely ammunition to be expended. That is why China is currently not focused on creating the perfect robot soldier. For now, volume is enough. And it's worth remembering that the country has been the undisputed world leader in the production and implementation of industrial robots for years. While the primary customers for these robots used to be the automotive industry, they are now electronics manufacturers. In other words, the very same companies that churn out chips and other components for robots and drones. And this is concrete proof that the PLA can overwhelm a section of the front with hundreds of cheap units, making the pinpoint destruction of individual robots and drones by snipers or expensive defensive missiles entirely futile. Listening to all this, one might think that Skynet is already here, and that China has an invincible army of Terminators. But let's be objective. Chinese propaganda loves smoke and mirrors. For example, the viral video featuring Unitree G1 humanoid robots firing rifles and assaulting fortified positions is pure staging. Each robot is controlled by an operator, and we have no idea how many takes it took to film that. Of course, there are also the dance routines, a magnificent example of teaching robots to act in sync. But that is a demonstration of coordination, not autonomy. It's propaganda showcasing potential capabilities that are still a long way from being realized. However, these routines shouldn't be underestimated either. They are a flashy, public-facing showcase behind which a hidden, serious, and incredibly large-scale data-gathering operation is taking place. Data no one else in the world has. This is exactly what will give the next generation of robots the ability to operate autonomously, anywhere, at home, in a factory, or in urban combat. China has already opened over 40 state-run robot training centers. The largest one spans 10,000 square meters in Beijing. Inside, hundreds of young employees who call themselves cyber workers put on VR headsets and exoskeletons to repeat the same basic movements hundreds of times. Pick up, open, assemble, fold. They perform every possible action with every object over and over again to record every variation of movement down to the millimeter. A single worker generates about 6 million movement data points per year. This is all unique data on a massive scale. In early 2025, the Chinese government officially designated embodied intelligence as a strategic priority. Currently, there are over 150 humanoid developer companies in the country, and they all have access to a shared pool of training data. What does this have to do with our topic? Everything. In China, there is simply no distinction between civilian and military data. Both sectors are developing in sync, and everything that can be applied will be applied. Naturally, with an endless stream of data and cheap manufacturing, China isn't just building an army for itself. It's starting to sell this future warfare kit to other nations, squeezing the US out of the global market. This was clearly demonstrated at the World Defense Show in Riyadh. China's pavilion there was one of the largest, featuring over 50 Chinese defense companies, including Norinco, CADIC, and AVIC. There were thousands of exhibits, and among them, a combat robotic dog armed with 4 anti-tank guided missiles on its back was unveiled to international buyers for the first time. Moreover, the missile modules feature a targeting system equipped with thermal imagers. This means the robot can detect heat signatures through smoke, darkness, and battlefield clutter and strike before the enemy even knows it's there. The manufacturer describes it as a mobile fire asset for urban combat. In other words, the robot is officially positioned as an offensive platform ready for export. But it wasn't just the robot dog on display in Riyadh. China showcased a whole catalog of future warfare at the expo. There was the LW-30 mobile laser weapon system on a wheeled chassis. There was the Wing Lung X maritime drone, the world's first unmanned system positioned as an autonomous submarine hunter. And there was the long-range Delta Wing kamikaze drone, the Lung M9, with a claimed range of 1,600 kilometers. And all of this was presented not as separate gadgets, but as an integrated system. And this is where we reach a critical point. China is now extending its military ambitions far beyond its own borders. It is prepared to enter the market and push the US out of the global arms trade. The first major deal is just about to be finalized, and with none other than Saudi Arabia. Word of it broke right during the exhibition in Riyadh. China's AVIC and Saudi Arabia's General Authority for Military Industries, GAMI, are coordinating a deal that experts estimate to be worth $5 billion. The subject, a joint production line for Wing Lung 3-strike drones with a capacity of up to 48 units per year to be located on Saudi soil. There is no official confirmation from either government as of the time of recording, but the exhibition booths and the behavior of the Chinese managers in Riyadh confirm that the deal is close. China is no longer just a manufacturer of combat drones. It is becoming a supplier of entire production chains, and the Gulf states are becoming less dependent on purchasing Western weaponry. But for a second, forget about military contracts in the Middle East. What America should truly be worried about isn't happening in the desert, but on the streets of Chinese cities. Because the technology for the Terminators of the future is currently being field tested by the manufacturers of your smartphones. Specifically, Honor surprised everyone at the annual Humanoid Robot Half Marathon held in Beijing on April 19th. The company only launched its humanoid division in 2025, and its 2-meter-tall red android Lightning just won the marathon. And it didn't just win, it set an all-time record, beating both the other robots and the human runners. It ran the 21-kilometer distance in 50 minutes and 26 seconds in autonomous mode. That's roughly 7 minutes faster than the current human world record. That's an impressive result on its own, but when you consider that a year earlier, the best time for a humanoid was 2 hours and 40 minutes, you can really gauge the speed of progress, nearly 3 times faster in a single year. And by the way, dozens of companies participating in the race are part of the state-sponsored Embodied Intelligence program. They are backed by the authorities, gain access to cutting-edge developments from other firms, and are striving to produce fast results. Today, it's running or dancing. Tomorrow, once the training database is ready, it could be autonomous airborne troops in urban combat. That is a capability you definitely shouldn't write off. Seeing this explosive growth in civilian robots that could pick up weapons tomorrow, the US has started to panic. A chaotic sanctions dance has begun. In February 2026, the US Department of Defense added Unitree to the list of Chinese military companies under Section 1260H. A day later, the list was publicly retracted and reissued in a revised form. This happened almost immediately after Donald Trump announced plans to visit Xi Jinping in April 2026. Considering that Unitree is preparing for the biggest robotics IPO in history, this is definitely no coincidence. It's more of a trade bargaining chip, but this doesn't change the overall US policy. Right now, Washington is debating a new bill called the American Security Robotics Act. Its core purpose is to legally forbid the US government from even touching Chinese humanoids and ground drones. This isn't just a ban, it's an attempt by authorities to eliminate Chinese algorithms from supply chains at the earliest possible stage, before they become the standard. American senators fear Trojan horses, a scenario where thousands of robots purchased for research purposes turn into tools for mass data collection on US infrastructure for Chinese AI. And the new law is meant to cut off Beijing's access to data from American testing grounds and the public sector, because in Washington, they understand that in this war, data is more important than hardware. At the same time, the US is preparing its own response in the field of military technology. Specifically, the Pentagon is changing its long-established procurement system. Instead of multi-year tenders, a competitive system is being introduced. The clearest sign so far is the $1.1 billion Drone Dominance Initiative program. 25 participants have already been selected for it, and only 5 of them will make it to the finals. The goal of the program is the procurement of 340,000 cheap FPV drones. The Pentagon's usual contractors aren't being left out either. Anduril has just received a $20 billion contract with the US Army. In 2026, war stopped being about who shoots better. It became about whose industrial conveyor belt can adapt code to reality faster. The Pentagon has thrown $21 billion at the effort to prove that the American market can be just as fast as China's state-planned industrial machine. But on the factory floor, the US is not winning yet. China has a starting position with a 10-to-1 advantage in industrial robots and control over 90% of the data market. In fact, we have to admit that China really has developed functional military robotics. These aren't futuristic promises, but systems already documented in mass production, in exercises, and at military exhibitions. CCTV propaganda is of course ahead of actual capabilities. In reality, the robots are vulnerable under fire and autonomy in combat is still limited. But the line between civilian and military in China is intentionally blurred. While the Pentagon is haggling over the 1260H list, Unitree is preparing a $7 billion IPO, and a humanoid that just came off the assembly line is breaking a world record in a half marathon. China is turning the country into a giant training ground where data from civilian drones and delivery robots instantly becomes code for military algorithms. Meanwhile, industrial facilities are churning out cheap, easily replaceable robots in any quantity. What do you think of China's military robotics videos? Which technology shocked you the most? If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes from the world of high technology.